Israeli forces have now reached the heart of the southern city of Khan Younis. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the Israel Defense Forces should retain control of the region for the disarmament of Gaza after the war. Our Seung-jae starts us off.
The Israel Defense Forces on Tuesday reached southern Gaza's main city of Khan Younis, marking what they called the most intense day of combat in 5 weeks of ground operations against Hamas. Backed by warplanes and tanks, the IDF reached the heart of the city, where many Palestinians who fled since the start of the armed conflict are now situated. According to the chief of Israel's general staff, Israeli forces have secured many Hamas strongholds in the northern Gaza Strip and are now operating against the strongholds in the south. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stressed that the Israel Defense Forces should retain control of the region following the disarmament of Gaza and the end of the war, shooting down any notion that an international force could be responsible for security in the Gaza Strip.
I want to say a word about the day after Hamas. Gaza needs to be demilitarized. But in order for Gaza to be demilitarized, there's just one force that can demilitarize it, and that power is the IDF. No international force can be responsible for that. We saw in other places what happened when they brought in international forces to demilitarize them. I am not willing to close my eyes and accept any other arrangement.
Gaza's health ministry says the death toll among Palestinians since the start of the armed conflict has now surpassed 16,000, with some 40,000 others injured. With the dire situation in Gaza, the World Health Organization appealed for protection for the health system against further attacks. The UN Health Agency says with more civilians in southern Gaza receiving immediate evacuation orders and being forced to move, more people are being concentrated into smaller areas, while the remaining hospitals in those areas run without sufficient fuel, medicine, food, water, or protection from health workers. It added that the number of functioning hospitals in the Gaza Strip has dropped from 36 to 18, with some treating 2 to 3 times more patients than they were designed for. Seung-jae, Arirang News.